We'll see what happens with that. Well, the college football recruiting, well, football and basketball recruiting world never stops. No, not even during a global pandemic, forcing Syracuse University coaches to adapt. That means Zoom calls, lots of Zoom calls, and just being yourself. If a high school prospect trusts you and respects you, you will probably land their services, an environment Orange coaches have flourished in.
It's totally different. It kind of goes back to old school where you got to watch tape, call high school coaches.
It's different.
People in areas that may have seen these young men play to get the best evaluation of them on the field as you can.
Welcome to recruiting in 2020.
But for the first half of our class, that's how we went about our work. We feel good about it. And it's, the proof is always in the pudding later, but I'd say right now we feel really good about where we're at in the recruiting department.
A world where in-person visits are a thing of the past, relying on trust and feel to guide your decision.
With the pandemic, I wasn't really able to visit any schools. I visited Syracuse back in February, and that was the only school I visited.
DUCE CHESTNUT is the highest-rated football prospect to commit to Syracuse in nearly a decade.
Coach Baber is preaching La Familia, just a family environment, and seeing what them guys is doing up there, seeing what Coach Baber's is building. I see the process, and I want to be a part of it.
He's just glad to have this unique recruiting experience finally behind him.
Man, it's a lot, man. You don't even understand just how the coaches hit you up almost every day, and just you got to respond, or they're not hit you, like not going to want you no more. So it was a lot.
Meanwhile, Justin Lamson made his decision from the other side of the country.
It's a lot different than California, where I'm from, Sacramento. There's no doubt about that. But I really like the college town vibes. Like, everybody's like a Syracuse fan. Like, we saw a lot of Syracuse stuff all over the walls of like restaurants and stuff, which was super cool.
Visiting Syracuse on his own dime, hoping to find a new home in the Northeast, all the way from Sacramento, California.
I feel like it was a good opportunity, and it just felt right out there. And I think it's going to help me like mature as a person, just because like you're only going to have one shot to go across the world and play sports. And like, I don't know, I think that's pretty cool.
They are two of nearly 20 Syracuse football commitments this year alone, while the Orange basketball program has had zero trouble navigating the pandemic either.
If you know the legacy of Syracuse and the legacy of Jim Boeheim, I mean, if he wants you and you're his top prospect, I don't see why you wouldn't go, honestly.
Benny Williams is ranked as a top 40 player nationally, using social media to connect with other Orange recruits during quarantine.
And the really big one is Dior. Dior always contacts me just making sure I'm still locked in with Syracuse. And I always tell them, you ain't got to worry about that.
And as for the coaches, well, they're still getting accustomed to our new temporary normal.
I think Zoom this is what I think about Zoom. This is what I think about the young millennials. This is what I think about technology. I think it's really cool that you can call somebody and look at them. That's about it.
That is about it. I'm right with you, Coach. And finally, Cicero. It is about it. That's really it. Cicero native Joe FARABEE will lead the Philadelphia Flyers into prime time tonight right here on NBC3. They'll meet the Montreal Canadiens with the series tied at 1 game apiece. Lauren, Lydia, I don't know about you. FaceTime, Zoom, doesn't matter what it is, Skype. I'd rather be with somebody, but we can't right now.
You can't be in your sweatpants when you're with someone, though.
That's true. That is very true. And I will say that's happened a couple of times since I've been working at home the last 4 months.
I believe it. It's all about comfort, Matt.
Yeah.
Lydia, let's take one final look at the forecast.